International school.
That's what they call an expensive school, right?
Yeah, it is.
How was school been coming along for you as far as your grades and academics?
I've been really well since COVID started. My grades kind of pivoted a bit, but right now I'm doing actually really well, getting close to about 3.8, almost 3.9. I think that's really good for me in terms of getting scholarships to any other schools or opportunities. And with swimming, that should benefit me a lot.
That's excellent. Now, you know, swimming is considered it's an individual sport with a little bit of relay. A lot of exciting sports are like basketball and track and field, maybe a little bit of baseball and football. What makes swimming exciting for you?
Swimming exciting for me, I think it really is. Like how you said, it's more personal. The personal gain from it, being strong, being able to compete against other people. It's not always the team aspect of it, so you really do have to dig inside of yourself to say that this is what I want.
Well, that sounds good, man. Who are some of the motivating persons for you? Are your parents always on you, coaches?
Parents, coaches, everyone, to be honest. I do have an older cousin, Marvin Johnson. He's really good. I think, in my eyes, I do want to be kind of like him. He does inspire me quite a lot, actually.
Now, Marvin is the real deal. He would have came back with 10 gold medals the last time he would have swum at the Crifter Swim Championships. Hopefully you can come back with. How much you want to come back with?
As many as I can.
And there you have it. That is Asher Johnson. He'll be representing the Bahamas at the 2022 Crifter Swim Championships in Bridgetown, Barbados. And we've had most of the athletes from Grand Bahama that would have joined me here today on Sports 360. We want to just say good luck to you guys as you prepare and represent the Bahamas. You have a few more weeks to put in that top-notch training before you head into New Providence and, of course, travel with the 36-member team. Also, Coach Andy Lovett, who joined me earlier on the show, he's one of the assistant coaches. He's been swimming for a long time. He's been on the coaching staff for the Crifter swim team for the past 10, 11 years. And so we want to wish him the best as these guys travel into Barbados to represent the Bahamas, seeking to capture not the first, not the second, but not the third either, but the fourth consecutive swim championships as they head into Barbados. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to Sports 360. We'll see you guys next time.
By giving unconditionally, not expecting anything in return, I thought was a wonderful way of showing this love, and I believe that it was love that truly drew people, and so I thought we could cover a lot more people by feeding. Volunteers, you know, they have truly been sold.
My passion is to help, and I thank God for what I can do through the help of Bahamas Feeding Network.
We play just like your kids. We text just like your kids. We learn. We even cook. We take selfies. We have hobbies. And we love sports. In every way, we are just like everyone else and enjoy the same things and live our lives every day, just like you do. So if you happen to meet us, treat us just like everyone else. Because at the end of the day,
We're just like you.
living life with Down syndrome is simply living. To learn more about Down syndrome, call 727-2105. This message is brought to you by the Grand Bahama Down Syndrome Society.
Colon cancer is the third most common cancer affecting Bahamians. Your risk of developing colon cancer is increased if you have a personal history of colorectal cancer or colon polyps, a family history of colon cancer, or inflammatory bowel diseases such as ulcerative colitis. Other factors that can increase your risk of developing colon cancer are low fiber, high fat diets, a sedentary lifestyle, obesity, smoking, and alcohol. You can take steps to reduce your risk of colon cancer by making specific lifestyle changes. Eat a variety of fruits, vegetables, and whole grains. These foods contain fiber, minerals, vitamins, and antioxidants, which may play a role in cancer prevention. Drink alcohol in moderation or not at all. Do not smoke. Exercise with a goal of getting in at least 30 minutes each day. If you've been inactive, start slowly and gradually build up to 30 minutes. Also, talk to your doctor before starting any exercise program. Maintain a healthy weight. If you're at a healthy weight, maintain it by combining a well-balanced diet with daily exercise. If you need to lose weight, ask your doctor about healthy ways to achieve your goal. Colon cancer screening can also help to prevent colon cancer or lead to its early detection when treatment is most effective. If you're 45 years or older, speak to your doctor about having a colonoscopy or some form of colon cancer screening that may be appropriate for you. I'm Dr. Eugene Marcus Cooper. Pay attention to your health. Get the facts and discuss colon cancer with your physician today.
This message is brought to you by the Ministry of Health in partnership with the Public Hospitals Authority.
You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.
Coming up in the news, the real estate industry, is it still a buyer's or seller's market? Also, the GBPA investing in a seed program. And it's Child Protection Month in the country. The Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, starts now.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Jamila Mizik. Thank you so much for joining us. Much has been said about Freeport's investor climate in recent time. Land sales on Grants Bahama have seen a noticeable change over the past few years, with Hurricane Dorian as well as the COVID-19 pandemic impacting the sector. Tonight, a noted realtor is giving his take on recent trends in the industry, as well as the investment climate here on Grants Bahama. Local realtor James Sarles speaking candidly with our ZNS News team about the real estate market on Grants Bahama. He says it is still a buyer's market despite the challenges faced on this northern island. Sarles notes that he remains enthusiastic that things are happening here on Grants Bahama and adds that investor interest appears to be growing.
That Western Atlantic University School of Medicine, in the next few years, there's going to be 1,000 students here. And that's that whole trickle-down effect. The students are here, they bring their parents, people get exposed, so that's fantastic. The Weller Group, they're going to build a first-rate hotel down near Banana Bay. That's going to bring new blood to the island, and very high-end blood. We've recently put Port Lakaya Marina under contract. So there's a lot of exciting things happening here. There's the O2 project, and it goes on, but it's behind the scenes, and now we really need the hotel to sell. So the hotel sells, and the government does a good job with a private-public partnership with the airport, and I think we're off and running.
The veteran realtor says he's also seen a big increase in home sales.
There's homes that have been on the market for years, and for the first time, all of a sudden, sale after sale after sale. Now, I'm not saying it's boom times, but what I'm saying is there are people buying, and there's a lot of interest in Grand Bahama. I was at the boat show recently, and now Grand Bahama is being put on the map again. The rest of the Bahamas is really doing fantastic, and Grand Bahama has always been a little bit behind, but I'm very optimistic about the future. Canal homes are selling. For the first time, canal lots are selling. There's an interesting condo, the Airbnb market. So really, it's becoming a real market. Our agents are very busy. The phones are ringing again. And so that's an initial sign.
But he says it is important for Grants Bahamians to have hope.
Sometimes Grand Bahamians were our own worst enemies, because a tourist comes and we talk about how bad things are. Yes, things aren't the greatest, but we all have to think positive about the future, because Grand Bahama is a beautiful place. It's great people here, and there's a lot of opportunity. So the real estate market is showing signs, really showing signs. It's a good time to buy before prices get out of sight. So if you're a first-time homeowner or investor, now is really the time to buy, because the pricing is still good, especially compared to places like Nassau.
Saul says the Airbnb market on Grand Bahama is also growing.
They're the largest hotel in the world. So people are looking online, they're coming down here. It's a way for local Bahamians to have a cottage industry. So you've got that aspect of the foreigners. Locally, you've got people who are moving out. So there's just movement. There's enough hope that people can take the chance to buy an investment that's going to benefit them future. People are building, they're building duplexes and fourplexes, and so you're going to see a lot of movement in the future, and we need the banks to be a little bit more open to lending in Grand Bahama. Sometimes they are lending in Nassau, not here, so we still have our things that need to be worked on, but I believe that it's all moving in the right direction.
And when it comes to commercial sales and buying rental property, Sarl says now is a good time to invest, as the real estate industry is beginning to thrive. A local attorney and former magistrate is the executive educational chairman of the Chartered Institute of Arbitrators Bahamas branch. In this report, the new chairman outlined her role and what is planned going forward. Azure Quant reports.
The Chartered Institute of Arbitrators Bahamas branch, established in 2011, is a significant professional body, advancing, promoting, and providing ADR courses as a learning institution. It is among the 41 global branches of CARB.
Bahamas branch is attached to the world's leading institution, the Chartered Institute of Arbitrators, founded as the Institute of Arbitrators on March 1st, 1915, and became registered as a charity in the United Kingdom in 1990. In 1979, the Institute was incorporated by the Royal Charter. Accordingly, the bylaws Royal Charter was granted to the Institute, which set the seal on recognizing the Institute as a learned body.
The purpose of the branch is really to train, educate, and to promote alternative dispute resolution in the Bahamas.
Chairman Attorney Rangan Johnson notes that the branch is committed and involved in marketing and organizing CARBs globally, recognizing ADR courses, programs, webinars for students, networking with other institutions, and creating a following with its loyal members at the branch global level. She says the branch also built relationships with the Bahamas Bar Association, the Judiciary, Legislation Department, the Industries, the Chamber of Commerce, and the Government Department.
The branch's current membership consists of 121 professional members, including leading domestic and international ADR practitioners, and at least 20 fellow Chartered Institute of Arbitrator practitioners, which also includes me along with other colleagues.
Now, she says the members have played an essential role of mentors to encourage values and standards in the profession, adding that just 2 weeks ago, they have offered the first virtual Module 1 mediation training and assessment course.
The present mediation course is to assist with the Registry of Mediators of the Judicial Department of the Bahamas, where the new Bahamas Supreme Court rules have included commercial and civil proceedings, etc., for the qualified mediators to assist the judicial system and the parties claim their dispute to speed up the process of completing a matter that has been filed at the Supreme Court. It is a pleasure that I can share this information in the Bahamas and elsewhere, so we can gradually use ADR system to resolve our disputes with peace, privacy, goodwill, and quick results.
Chairman Johnson says the branch is very fortunate to be linked to the office of Honorable Michael B. Halkitis, Minister of Economic Affairs and leader of the government business in the Senate, promoting financial services, business development, consumer protection, and international trade. I'm Aja Quant, ZNS Network News.
As the government works to attract more visitors to the island, the Grand Bahama Port Authority and its group of companies partnering with the local business community to keep Grand Bahama clean. Chairperson of the Keep Grand Bahama Clean Committee, Nakir Wilchcombe, says there are a number of activities planned for the month of April as residents are encouraged to be ambassadors of the environment.
We're going to be going into the schools, civic organizations, again to preach this message of not littering, refraining from throwing litter on our beautiful streets. And so we also have a beach cleanup at the end of the month. Let's remember that Earth Day is April 22nd, so we're encouraging the corporate community, our schools, to all get involved in some way in protecting and promoting our environment. Another initiative we're hoping to launch this month is also putting back cans into our bins into our schools for aluminum cans, so to start a recycling program there as well.
Operations Manager at Falco Lassard Burrows and Human Resource Administrator at Fluid Factory Kevin Lockhart say they are excited to be a part of this major initiative.
Over the past several months, we have been assisting with the export of derelict vehicles on the island. We are happy to be here and to be a part of this initiative. Working with this project, we have realized that there are thousands of vehicles on the island that need to be exported, and they also cause great damage to the environment.
We stand behind cleaning up, keeping our community clean. Of course, we have bottles, we have events and cans. We just had a big event last weekend. So we are urging everyone to do their part in cleaning up, as we will also do our part in cleaning up the island.
The Grand Bahama Port Authority investing in the lives of young people. Officials launching the SEED workshop today to benefit high school students this weekend. Azure Quant reports.
The Grand Bahama Port Authority announcing today the STEM Empowerment Educational Development Program, where high school students will have the opportunity to begin their career paths.
We're pleased to announce the SEED program. SEED is an acronym for STEM Empowerment and Educational Development, and it represents an investment in the young people of the city of Freeport and the island of Grand Bahama. We wanted to expose them to some of the disciplines associated with the STEM field and also expose them to the various career opportunities that exist in the world of STEM.
The program will consist of roughly about 50 students in grades 7 through 9. So with this particular workshop, this is a pilot workshop. So this allows us to really get an idea of the resources and the capacity needed to execute it at a larger level. Our goal is to not make this only a one-day workshop. We want to expand it throughout the schools. So we would have engaged the Principals and Vice Principals Association last year in the fourth quarter. So they are aware of the program, and we do plan on expanding to the other high schools as well.
The program contains 2 tracks: STEM-related field and blockchain technology and crypto asset management. Dr. Asia Bow and Dr. Lathea Jackson say they are honored to support the SEED program and Grand Bahama as they take an innovative step toward equipping students with the future tools needed to support the industry.
They are taking steps that allow for capacity building initiatives across not only Grand Bahama, but the future of the Bahamas is in technology. The future of the Bahamas is in what's happening here today, and that is allowing the students to engage with hardware and software concepts that are used by thousands of students around the world in 10 countries right now, but started here in the Bahamas.
I am fascinated, thrilled, encouraged, humbled, and just truly appreciate this opportunity to work in collaboration with such a great chance. And I want to thank Dr. Bow for inviting me and her wonderful STEM Lingo team.
Bahamas Technical and Vocational Institute's leadership expresses gratitude to be able to engage in this collaboration, adding that it is the mandate of BTVI, creating new pathways for upcoming generations.
BTVI is willing to support this program 100%. So we have a lot of things in the pipeline, including using our campus and our labs to help to facilitate the growth of this program.
I think what we are particularly excited about at BTVI is that we are moving beyond what is conceived as the traditional trades. We are going into a space that is the future, and will carve really creative and innovative possibilities here in Grand Bahama.
Now the pilot workshops are set to begin at the Bishop Michael Eldon High School and Sunland Baptist Academy on Saturday. I'm Adra Quant, ZNS Network News.
School administrators reacting in excitement, noting that their students aren't the only ones, but the entire campus is beaming in anticipation for the workshop.
The program was supposed to get started last week Saturday, so when it didn't, it was like, when will it be Saturday again so we can get started? Our students are just thrilled to be a part of something such as this. It's an opportunity, definitely, and we're so grateful and thankful to have been one of the schools that have been included in something such as this. You know, we know that technology is here. It's been here for a while, and it's continuing to evolve, and the sooner we get our students involved in programs such as this, the better that it will be for them.
I definitely believe in investing into the future, especially starting from grade 7 through 9. I'm definitely grateful for this opportunity, and we definitely are looking forward to the program tomorrow, and I hope to see you all there so this can be a great success.
Dominic Petty, General Manager of Consumer Sales at Alive, says the SEED program, along with young people bringing them to technology while pushing digital transformation, is what Alive intended to do from the start.
In Grand Bahama and the Bahamas, STEM plays such a critical role to the overall growth and development of the Bahamas. And to bring young people at such an early stage, expose them to technology, is definitely will actually open them up to a wide array of professional careers. We are Alive, our innovators, and we are delighted to be able to partner with the Port Authority in such a critical initiative. When we think about digital transformation, it's something that we were into from we opened our doors back in 2016, and to date we seek to do such that.
You're watching the Northern Edition. Stay with us.
Come on down. Come on down. Now.
Welcome to the My Professor and More, where our focus is to provide the innovation and provide the guidelines for our talented students in a variety of subject matters, from primary school all the way to university level.
Because of the Math Professor, my mathematical and public speaking skills have truly elevated.
At the My Professor and More, we see our students as being family members. Even though we strive in mathematics and public speaking, we cover all of those areas whereby students may be finding challenges. At the Math Professor, we strive for excellence. We strive for innovation. And through the techniques that we use, we continue to make a difference in the lives of hundreds of students each year.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right. We welcome you to be a part of the family.
Spring into savings at any of Modiva's 2 locations and save 25% off. And guys, check out their men's casual wear selection at the East Sunrise location. Shop Modiva's where they dress you from head to toe. After a long work week, what better way to wind down but at Off the Deep Edge restaurant and bar located on Peel Street. It's Wind Down Fridays. Come out and enjoy.
Esquire Men's Freeport presents Passion for Fashion, Saturday, April 23rd from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. at the Lukaya Shopping Center. Admission is free.
How well do you know Grand Bahama? We'd like to find out. Tune into the ZNS Northern Service Facebook page beginning next Wednesday, April 6th during the 6:30 newscast as we feature a new trivia series called Grand Bahama Facts. Every Wednesday and Friday, we will be bringing you trivia questions about Grand Bahama. Thank you to the Ministry for Grand Bahama, our official sponsor for Season 1 of Grand Bahama Facts.
Bad little lady, yes, she be driving me crazy. When she looking at lips and moving them hips like come here, baby. I wanna take her down now.
The King of the North is back. Power 104.5 FM.
Your #1 news team covering the North. The Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Welcome back. Today kicks off events in observance of Child Protection Month. A service of Thanksgiving will be held at Caribou Bible Church on Cromwell Drive on April 4th. Chief Welfare Officer of the Child Protection Unit, Jody Burrows, says this year's theme is No Excuse for Abuse, Stop the Violence. She says that there are several activities underway for the community at large.
In recent times, we have recognized that the number of abuse matters has increased. There are various types of child abuses. Child abuse is viewed as intentional harm or mistreatment to children under the age of 18 years. Abuse can take many forms, often occurring at the same time. Child abuse may include any act or failure to act by a parent or caregiver resulting in actual or potential harm which may occur in a child's home, in organizations, schools, or the community at large.
Brenna Mae Roll Cooper, Chief Welfare Officer for School Welfare and Senior Citizens, says this year they are excited to host a student workshop seminar on the topic conflict resolution. She says that they are aware of the challenges at public and private institutions here on the island.
As we know, there have been an apparent increase in violence among our students in our schools, and it is our mandate, it is our responsibility to equip our students with the knowledge and with the skills that is necessary for healthy conflict resolution skills. We want these teenagers, these students, to be well aware, well informed that they have a role to play. And in resolving conflicts better, obviously the number of violence, the number of crime that we find within our communities and within the school system would be, I would not say diminished, but definitely it would be lowered.
Next Friday will be Child Protection Awareness Day, and all are being asked to wear royal blue. Now to a positive youth program. The Princess Court Ministries back after a 2-year hiatus due to the pandemic, and they are all excited. Stephanie Burrows, Executive Coordinator, says they are 160 girls deep this year, providing a variety of classes such as gardening, painting, arts and craft, cooking, dance, sewing, and job readiness.
Our goal is to encourage the girls to stay sexually pure until marriage, to become godly homemakers, spiritual leaders, and to enhance their spiritual lives. Every week we do a devotion with the girls, and we talk about the pledge. We do our Princess Precept, which is found in Psalms 139. I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Wonderful are your works, oh God. And so here we are again. So happy to be at Central Zion with Princess Court Ministries. I would like to say thank you to all of the leading ladies from the community and different churches that come and help us out with the Princess Court, that are the mentors. And also thank you to our sponsors, because we know that this has been a hard year for a lot of the businesses, but we are here today, and thank you so much, sponsors, for being so generous with your gifts.
The Princess Court will close out this weekend with a pledging ceremony on Sunday at Central Zion Church in 8 Mile Rock. And now it is time for a check on sports with Romiko Knowles.
This is ZNS Total Sports, your source for sports in the North. Good evening all, I'm Ramiko Knowles. Topping sports, the 2022 flag football season kicks off on Sunday at the Grand Bahama Sports Complex flag football field. Now the league has been on hold since 2019, but the president says they are excited to return.
The anticipation has been building. It's been building. It's been building.
The start of the 2022 flag football league season is less than 48 hours away. Vincent Marshall, president of the league, believes that this year will be one for the record books.
It's been a long time. Everybody's excited. I've been getting calls from all of the teams all week. Everybody wants to make sure that we do kick off this Sunday, and definitely I can assure everybody that we will be kicking off this Sunday.
3 female and 5 male teams will be in action this season, indicating that the sport is expanding. Marshall says that this year's roster is full of young players with an interest in the sport.
So that's definitely the way that we want to go. We have never had a feeder system, so it's really been just recruiting older players. But now I think everybody realized that for the longevity of the league, it's in our best interest to get some new blood in, and I'm excited to see what the young persons are going to bring and how they can bring ideas to help us grow even further.
He thanks all those who are playing a role in getting this season started.
Definitely, we have to say a big thank you to the players, the coaches, everybody that's been a part of the league, that has been pushing us to make sure that we do start again, and definitely to the sponsors that have been able to continue to believe in us in what we're doing. So without them, it's very hard to get this done. So definitely we want to say a special thank you to those sponsors, as well as everybody that's involved.
Heading into the NBA now, Shavano Buddy Hield reaching another career milestone as one of the top shooting guards in the NBA. Hield recently moved into 50th place in career three-point field goals made with 1,402 through his 6-year career. Hield surpassed former three-point contest champion Brent Barry and trails the Hawks' Danilo Gallinari, ranked at number 49 on the all-time list with 1,413. Hield currently ranks second across the league in three-point field goals made this season with 242. In local basketball action, the Franco Scott Quinton Big 3 Under-13 basketball tournament tips off on Monday, April 4th through 9th at the Jack Haywood Gymnasium. Teams participating are Bishop Michael Eldon, 8 Mile Rock, Tabernacle, Jack Haywood Jr., Sunland Stingers, and Sister Mary Patricia. Taking you to the Diamond now, Little League Baseball continues this weekend at 10 a.m. in T-ball play. The Lions will see the Buccaneers Gray in Major League play. The Lions will take on FVS Predators at 11:30. Buccaneers Maroon will take on Red Sox. In Junior League action at 1 p.m., the Lions will take on Fortune 360. Coach Pitch will close out the day. The Predators will take on the Lions at 1 p.m. And in minor league play at 2:30, the Lions will face the Buccaneers. And just before we close, we want to send a very special happy birthday going out to Mauricio Britton. That's coming in from your mother. And also to my daughter, Keely Grace Comfort Knowles. Happy 7th birthday, baby. See you in a minute. And that is your check on sports. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm Ramiko Knowles. Until next time, make it a great one.
KMW Battery and Tires. Oil change. Oil and filter not included. Labor starts at $35. Open up Mondays to Saturday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Come in today.
What? Check old girl, boy. You say she getting married? Oh, man. Not again.
Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to join this man's BTC home internet with this woman BTC mobile service in holy matrimony. So they'll pay half the price compared to the other guys.
What's wrong with you? Just let them...
Madam, do you have BTC mobile service?
I do.
Sir, do you have BTC home internet to unite with her mobile service?
I do.
Get all the internet you want at half the price when you bundle your home internet and mobile service.
So, what services do you have?
Me? I have BTC at home and on my phone.
Visit any BTC store to make the switch today.
Bethel's Air Conditioning and Refrigeration, number 3 Milton Street, wants to shower you with love with a 20% off store-wide sale for the month of February. Call 602-5467. Certain restrictions apply.
Hi, I'm Wes. I like to put some shoes on your feet.
Hi, I would like to put some shoes on your feet.
Hi, I want to put some shoes on your feet.
I want to put some shoes on your feet.
Hi, I want to put some shoes on your feet.
Let us put shoes on your feet.
Breaking news as it happens in the palm of your hands. Download the ZNS app and keep up with your favorite radio stations, breaking news articles, and live coverage wherever you are. The ZNS app, available in the Android and iOS store.
The King of the North is back. Power 104.5 FM.
Your #1 news team covering the North. The Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Paulie Johnson, we are happy to say that you are our Facebook friend of the day. Thank you for your support. And happy birthday to Caleb Perdilas. We know you are having a great birthday. And that's going to do it for us here in the North. On behalf of the entire ZNS News team, I'm Jamila Missy. Thank you so much for joining us and have a safe weekend. The Bahamas Tonight continues.
Tonight, the National Report, an apology from the National Security Minister. The destruction of pine forests probed, another life lost on the streets, and jazz goes deep in spring training. The Bahamas Tonight, the National Report starts now.
This portion of the news is brought to you by BTC Super Fast Internet for Less. Best rate, no debate. Sign up today.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Akush Lapindo. Welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. Thanks so much for tuning in. Just hours after making his controversial statements on sexual consent laws, National Security Minister, the Honorable Wayne Munro, declared in a statement this afternoon that he deeply regrets that his answers caused concern. To further clarify his position, he maintains that anyone who has sexual intercourse with a child under 16 is disordered and will go to prison, which then bears the question of their sentence length. The Court of Appeal stipulates a 7-year sentence for first-time offenders if the young woman does not consent, and 4 years if consent is given. The National Security Minister also acknowledged that plea agreements avoid court cases and help clear the court's case backlog, as well as spares the victim from having to give evidence. Minister Munro noted that the government is unified in sending the clearest possible message to adults who would have sexual relationships with children under 16, that their behavior will land them in jail no matter what. He concluded that he provides legal analysis from his decades of experience practicing law and wants Bahamians to understand this allows a clear path to successful law enforcement and prosecution. Munro stressed that the goal in cases like these is to punish predatory behavior and deter others from engaging in it. Well, the thorny issue also pushing Deputy Prime Minister, the Honorable Chester Cooper, to release a statement via social media. In a post to his Facebook account, Cooper noted that while public discourse can be rocky, it can often bring about change. That said, he believes the current discussion about the age of consent should be followed up by action on the part of lawmakers. Now, Cooper has called for the legal age of consent to be increased to 18 years, a stance he's not backing down from, reasoning that this will further protect minors and make clear that children who, for example, cannot drink alcohol, join a law enforcement, open a bank account, stand before a court as an adult, or vote, cannot reasonably consent to sex with an adult. Further, any law that suggests otherwise is out of step with what the vast majority of those whom the law is supposed to serve believe. The DPM also making it clear that he is also for eliminating any ambiguity in the law regarding teenage minors consenting to sex with adults, as laws must change as the values of society evolve and mature. Well, the National Security Minister's initial comments and the continued backlash it spawned, an issue for which the media sought a response from the Social Services Minister. When asked if such comments were appropriate, here's what the Honorable Obi Wilchcombe had to say.
The minister is responsible for his statements. I'm responsible for the ones that I make. I'm not sure the circumstance in which he was speaking. I thought at one point he was simply seeking to give an advice of how he would advise a client. At the end of the day, my responsibility is to take care of the children and to ensure that our children are protected. Those responsibilities we intend to carry out vigorously. So that's our focus, and I want to stay focused there.
And further questioned if Acting Director of Public Prosecutions Franklin Williams is victim blaming the 14-year-old girl who became impregnated by a 40-year-old man undermines his ministry's efforts, Wilchcombe reasoned that they won't be undermined by anything.
In our society, you have to appreciate their differing views, but we have a stated mission and an obligation and a pledge that we intend to pursue in the cause for our search for the protection of all children of our country. Because there are too many cases that we're seeing, too many cases of vaccine issue that's been around for a while, and so we will take a very aggressive approach in dealing with and causing for greater education. What you're going to see is a trumped-up public relations effort.
A wife of the Prime Minister, Anne-Marie Davis, also weighing in on sexual consent laws. She believes the discussion on amending the legislation should be a collaborative effort.
Whether it should stay at 16 or go to 18. You can't have a drink before you're 18, I think it is. You can't vote before you're 18. There's so many areas that we still have to look at, and we look at all of that in this Child Protection Month. It's just traumatic. It affects them for the rest of their lives. It destroys a child, someone who has the potential of doing so much more. Once you destroy a child's life, I think everyone should get the maximum sentence. It makes me that angry.
In the meantime, senior female execs of the Free National Movement are calling on their Progressive Liberal Party colleagues to join them in condemning the National Security Minister's comments about that unlawful sexual intercourse case of a 14-year-old girl. Senators Maxine Seymour and Michaela Barnett Ellis, Women's Association President Vanessa Scott, and the F&M torchbearers contend that Minister Wayne Munro should protect us, not the predators. The opposition members further claim sentences for sexual offenders are too lenient and that the minister and cabinet should be providing solutions. Well, the two most populated islands still pulling in COVID cases, 7 and 1 for New Providence and Grand Bahama, respectively. That's 8 new infections added to the countrywide total. That's now 33,291. 3 of the newly infected New Providence residents traveled within the past 14 days. Hospitalizations again increased to now sit at 10. The good news there is that just 1 person is on the intensive care unit. At last count, 9 people recovered from the virus on Thursday, and 192 RT-PCR tests were taken. In related news, the Minister of Health and Wellness, the Honorable Dr. Michael Darville, says the decision to remove COVID-19 testing for inter-island travel comes after health officials noticed a sustained trend in the low number of new COVID-19 cases. Now, as reported yesterday, the COVID travel testing requirement from Grand Bahama and New Providence into the Family Islands is to be lifted, and that's regardless of one's vaccination status. Dr. Darville says with the low numbers, the Emergency Operations Center felt it was no longer necessary to keep the 2 islands at level 2.
Once those cases fall below a particular level, the disease burden in the capital in Grand Bahama begin to fall. When that happens, we have a strategy on how we move islands from level 2 back to the normal level. So as it stands right now, New Providence and Grand Bahama was taken off the list as level 2. If you come off the list as level 2, testing is no longer required to travel into island. But with that being said, we're watching the numbers, we're watching it very closely, but we believe that when the science falls in line with what we're doing with our decision making, we have to follow through for all islands.
And while the BA.2 Omicron subvariant has now become the dominant strain in the U.S., Dr. Darwell says local officials are prepared to respond if there's a surge in new infections.
There's no question. If the amount of cases begin to be troublesome and of great concern to our healthcare team as well as the EOC, we will make the necessary adjustments. But God has been good to us at this point, and so our job now is to actually relax some of the restrictions so that there can be more movement and commerce can be enhanced.
Well, still to come, police search for 2 missing men and the government's appeal on protecting forests. We'll be back after the break.
This portion of the news was brought to you by Sun Oil Limited Shell, fueling journeys that matter.
You have enough things to worry about. Living in a world that can seem opposite of the things you are trying to accomplish.
I can need a little help with this.
We're here to let you know that you don't have to go at it alone. Choose peace of mind. Choose comfort. Choose CB. Commonwealth Bank, leader in personal banking services.
What? Check old girl, boy. Say she getting married? Oh. Man, not again.
Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to join this man's BTC home internet with this woman BTC mobile service in holy matrimony. So they'll pay half the price compared to the other guys.
What's wrong with you? Just let them...
Madam, do you have BTC mobile service?
I do.
Sir, do you have BTC home internet to unite with her mobile service?
I do.
Get all the internet you want at half the price when you bundle your home internet and mobile service.
So, what services do you have?
Me? I have BTC at home and on my phone.
Visit any BTC store to make the switch today.
What makes an icon? Is it 80 years in the business? Or inventing a recipe that changes the way we enjoy chicken around the world? No. What makes an icon are the fans. Order KFC and take home a true mealtime icon.
From the time we open, we create moments of joy for everyone we serve. We use every encounter to show how we are different. Stop in and enjoy our freshly prepared breakfast on the go for your family. Or even having your favorite food delivered where you can easily connect with your friends. Our commitment is serving you quality food from our restaurant. Go ahead and dip your French fries in your frosting. Cheers to better days ahead. That's what makes Wendy's different on the inside and out.
We believe in relationship banking. We take pride in getting to know our clients. You have access to knowledgeable, approachable ambassadors and financial coaches so that we can recommend the best product for you. At Fidelity, we care about you. From your financial health to your physical health, we can relate to you because we're just like you. Come and start your relationship banking experience with us today. Visit us online at fidelitygroup.com. Visit any of our branches in Nassau or Grand Bahama, or phone 356-7764 in Nassau or 352-6676 for Freeport.
Fidelity, we're good for you.
This portion of the news is brought to you by Bahamas Medical and Surgical Supplies Limited. If it's healthcare, it's here.
The Ministry of Environment's issuing a cease and desist order to those behind the destruction of local pine forests. The warning coming on the heels of investigations uncovering the illegal clearing of acres of pine forest in western New Providence. Carla Palmer reports.
If you did not know before, know now that pine forests of the Bahamas are protected ecosystems under the law, and cutting down pine trees without a permit is illegal.
The Environmental Planning and Protection Act, it outlines that no work should commence in the Bahamas without first obtaining a certificate of environmental clearance. Anyone conducting activities without the necessary permission, they are breaking the law.
The law has been in effect and amended as late as 2021. With the protected tree order passed. Still, Environment Minister, the Honorable Vaughn Miller, says it bears repeating.
There's to be no clear cutting of the land as outlined in the Conservation of the Physical Landscape Act. Permission must also be sought from the Forestry Unit to remove protected trees and plants.
Senior Forestry Officer responsible for the Forestry Unit, Daniel Hanna, says what has been done here is a clear violation of the law, a destruction and disservice of our forestry industry, with acres upon acres destroyed and thousands of pine trees gone.
The protected tree order was passed, protecting the Pinus caribea tree, the pine tree, the silver-top palm, also mahoganies, red mangroves, white mangroves, black mangroves, other species. It's an extensive listing, 137 species. If you need to remove any of those trees or harvest or transplant, you actually need a permit.
Senior Forestry Officer in charge of the Forestry Unit, Daniel Hanna, says what's been done is a clear violation of the law, a destruction and disservice of our forestry industry.
Preliminary review from last year of July to February of this year, an estimated 40 acres have been cleared over that time period, which is extensive. These are areas that help with the water replenishment for our water table. The consequences of this means that eventually anyone who uses well water or who goes to the pump will suffer. Water quality will diminish, meaning that it will no longer be potable, no longer drinkable. And this is the long-term effects if we keep the development happening in our well fields.
With dire consequences, the long-term effects, Director of Planning and Protection, Dr. Rihanna Neely, says they are moving with haste to ensure that those persons responsible are held accountable.
The Department of Environment, Planning and Protection is in communication with the Office of the Attorney General. We will be going after these businesses, these agencies, to effect the law in the Bahamas.
Violation of the Forestry Act carries a penalty of 2 years imprisonment, up to a $25,000 fine, or both. Carla Palmer, ZNS Network News.
Well, those who have cleared and claimed government land illegally forewarned. This after questions arose surrounding 50 plots totaling more than 340 acres in Carmichael. Attorney General and Minister of Legal Affairs Senator the Honorable Ryan Pinder insist the government will take the necessary legal action.
The prior administration in August, just before the election, had gone to cabinet on this issue because a lot of this illegal clearing had occurred during COVID lockdowns, where we were supposed to be locked down, but people were using that for nefarious reasons and clearing land illegally. And the prior cabinet had concluded that this should be referred to the Department of Public Prosecutions for prosecution. We have obtained those cabinet conclusions and all of the backup information on that, and we are going to be advancing cease and desist orders and giving notice for everybody to get off of the land and clear any structures that you have built on the land. And to the extent that that is ignored or not complied with, we will be proceeding with criminal prosecutions against those that are on the land.
And not only are they breaking the law by clearing the land, the Attorney General says there's also this concern.
There are some endangered trees and protected trees on the land that you need special permits for. None of those permits were even applied for, and those are criminal violations in and of themselves with hefty fines attached to them. So this is a very serious matter.
Meantime, spokesperson for area residents Lincoln Bain is hoping the government hears their cry.
We're willing to negotiate with them. Some people might have done things, some things out of ignorance, but we're willing to defend our forests, to stop any expansion that's going on, and work with the government moving forward.
Now to some tragic news, a fiery end to an early morning traffic accident here in the capital. Police reporting that the victim was burnt beyond recognition. The incident taking place sometime after 2 a.m. on the Samailo-Butler Highway. Investigating officers found a white Kia Cerrado engulfed in flames with the female driver's lifeless body inside. From what police have told us, the vehicle was traveling north when the victim lost control, collided into the median and overturned in the southbound lane. While the vehicle came to a stop there, soon after it burst into flames. At last report, police were relying on the victim's next of kin to confirm her identity. Well, Omar Archer's back in the news. This time, he's the face of a wanted poster. The alleged crime, intentional libel. Police reminding the public of Archer's stats. They say the 50-year-old social media commentator is dark-skinned, between 5'9" and 6 feet tall and medium build. Police are advising anyone with information on the number 22 Lewis Street, Nassau Village resident to call the Criminal Investigation Department at 502-9991 or 2. Police on the hunt, meantime, for 2 missing men not seen since Wednesday is Stanford Taylor. And at the time, the 41-year-old was at his number 4 Bimini Avenue home. Police say Taylor is also dark-skinned, 5'6" and medium build. Family members of Philip Clark, no doubt equally concerned about where he is and if he's well. Clark hasn't been seen now for 2 days, more specifically around 6 a.m. in the Nassau Village community. The 69-year-old is described as dark-skinned, his build medium, his height unknown. Anyone with information that can assist relatives or police with finding Stafford Taylor or Philip Clark should again call CID at 502-9991 or 2, or download the P3 Tips app. Well, Police Commissioner Paul Roll confirming that the school policing initiative that's operating in 9 New Providence-based schools will be expanded should the need arises. The program's return is due to increased violence on some campuses.
Already designated officers to be into those schools so they can help and create some calm within the school-based environment. And that will be managed by our community policing services to coordinate the activities.
Police Press Liaison Officer Superintendent Audley Peters says the officer to lead the initiative hasn't been selected just yet, but the officers have been identified.
They have to be briefed as to the psychology of working with students, working with teachers, and how we engage them, because the rule of working with students and working with adults is different. So they have to attend the seminar, be briefed as to how to deal with instances that involve minors, according to the Children's and Young Persons Act.
And remember to tune in to the Morning Edition with LaDawn Davis and Charles Fisher at 7 o'clock weekday mornings. We also have news updates at every hour, starting at 2 p.m. You can then watch the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, at 6:30, and the National Report live at 7 p.m., all right here on the ZNS Network.
Life is better with Rubis Rewards. Just fuel up and swipe for your chance to win free fuel, cash back in our stores, restaurant and store discounts from our partners, plus prizes and surprises. It doesn't get better than this. Your Rubis Reward tag is free at every Rubis service station in New Providence. Get yours today. Rubis, it's just better.
You're always on the go. We know life can be a daily rush. CIBC, First Caribbean, you can count on us. We make life easier. Manage your accounts at any time. Apply for a loan. It's easy when you bank online. We make life easier with choices that suit you. CIBC, First Caribbean.
Michael, let me borrow your car, please.
Don, I tell you I have to get my car license.
How long I can take, man? Let's go there now.
Why you need my car so bad?
It's an old schoolmate, man. She'll meet up for lunch.
Well, I hope she's taking you somewhere nice, because you know we ain't easily impressed.
You can pay for your license and inspections online now. They'll confirm your inspection appointment and bring the decal to your car.
I'm impressed.
My name is Alicia Poitier, and I've been using the Molfix brand for almost 10 years now. What I love about the Molfix brand is that it is of great quality, and I currently use it on my 2-year-old and my 5-month-old. I haven't had any issues with irritability or rashes or anything of that sort. What I love most about the Molfix brand is that I get value for money, and that to me is awesome.
Secure the ones that you love. Join up with Family Guardian. We offer full protection. Join the family. Join the family. Family Guardian. Protect the ones you love. A friend that you can trust. Family Guardian.
I've always worked in business solutions, commercial customers. We've worked with and helped them to become successful through communications technology. It forces me to be on my game in terms of learning about technology, learning about communications, learning about mobile and fixed. So I'd advise any young woman wanting to get into the technology field to take every opportunity that you can to learn, because you just never know where the job opportunities will be in 1 or 3 or 5 years.
Shell Unleaded improves your fuel economy, giving increased miles per gallon, allowing you to do more of what you really want. Special additives used in Shell Unleaded improve your engine's efficiency. So go further with Shell Unleaded. Venture out to beaches, Junkanoo, and festivals and bring home memories that will last a lifetime. Shell, fueling journeys that matter.
Well, it's a staple in many, if not all, Bahamian homes. But what happens next week when the cost of bread rises? Carla Palmer has the story.
Like one of its main ingredients, yeast, the price of bread at Purity Bakery is rising.
From COVID-19 came into play, supply and demand has been challenged. Costs went up, ingredients went up. Our suppliers were challenged as well. Consequently, supply was not available, and as we all know, Economics 101, when supply is limited, demand is high, prices go up. And we have been fighting it. And in order to stay in business, management has decided to slightly increase the prices.
The increase is effective Monday, April 4th. Sonia Marshall is the bakery's administrator.
Purity Bakery did send out advance notices to all of our valuable customers. And most of our customers, because they are prudent business people as well, do understand that it's not just a Purity Bakery decision, but it's a global decision. Every item that's coming into this country has increased over the past 2 years.
Luckily, the bread increase is no more than a nickel and a dime.
This increase is not new to Purity Bakery. And it's not substantial. It's between 5 and 8% in some items, 10 cents here, 15 cents here, 20 cents here. But that's the only way we can stay a part of the community.
Keisha and Drake's are two customers who don't seem to mind at all the added cost.
Besides making your own bread, which I thought I'll be doing, I'll just have to buy bread here, or I'll just use less, a healthier diet.
Everything is going up. Everything, not just bread. So we would just have to strategize and economize and, you know, things that we normally buy. Things that we don't really have to buy, we'll have to cut back.
Purity Bakery is one of the oldest distributors in the Bahamas, serving the community for more than a quarter of a century. Carla Palmer, ZNS Network News.
In other news this evening, Culture Minister, the Honourable Mario Bolag, believes it's too premature to consider increasing subsidies to individual Junkanoo groups. His comments in response to Saxon's leader Percy Vola Francis pitching the suggestion, as he says some groups may be challenged to find sponsors.
Most of the major sponsors for Junkanoo are doing quite well. I believe that we're still 9 months away from Junkanoo, so when we get to that bridge, we'll cross that bridge. But at this very present time, I don't see the need for us to have to make any new increase for any grants to the Junkanoo groups. But like I said, once all stakeholders are involved, the entire thing is the government and all stakeholders will ensure that we put a parade that is cost effective, that will be conducive to the climate at that time.
Bolag agrees, though, that there needs to be a bigger investment to ensure safety in a COVID-19 environment.
Well, most definitely we can't go back to Bay Street as things were prior to COVID, so there has to be some protocols put in place. We have to build an environment where it's safe for all persons who will be attending the parade. Yes, we anticipate there will be an increase in the budget as it relates to the government having to subsidize the parade, which we subsidize the entire operation of the parade in any event. Knowing that there will have to be sanitation stations, we have to have extra exits and entry points. More human resources will be needed. So, I mean, he is correct. We cannot go back to Bay Street as it was prior to COVID. So definitely we have to make some adjustments. All stakeholders involved will get together and we will make sure that we put a plan that is in place that will best safeguard the Bahamian people.
The Bahamas Development Bank's giving back to Bahamians thriving in the technical field in a pretty big way. Some 26 creatives were awarded Apple MacBook Pros as part of the Orange Economy Microtechnology Grant. Our very own videographers and editors Ilka Rogers, Ashley Whitney and Neville Smith all received the devices, having been selected among some 280 applicants. Other awardees include noted photographer Ferrano Ferguson, Kevin Fox, Colette Parker, Denise Poitier, Felicia Woodside, Dion Cunningham, and Darrell Williams. Chairman Senator the Honorable Quinton Lightbourne says the demand for creative services in the Bahamas is at an all-time high. Well, today ushering the start of National Child Protection Month, spearheaded by the Ministry of Social Services and Urban Development, its Minister, the Honorable Obi Welshcombe, says he looks forward to amended legislation to protect children.
We begin this month with a change of our juvenile panel, where we will now move away from the juvenile panel and will cause for a single magistrate to be able to hear matters pertaining to the juveniles. And that is because so many, it is very difficult, it has been difficult in the past to assemble the panels. And so we've now taken a step that we believe will bring justice and will cause for those juveniles to have, in many circumstances, opportunities, second opportunities, after mistakes have been made.
Wife of the Prime Minister, Anne-Marie Davis, is this year's patron.
It is a movement that is near and dear to me, to my heart. It is the safeguarding of our children from violence, exploitation, abuse, and neglect. Recognizing that children hold the brightest hope for the future of our nation, I pledge to discourage and report all forms of abusive and neglectful actions against them.
He received the highest scores in the Bahamas General Certificate of Secondary Education examinations last year, with his eyes set on pursuing studies at a university abroad, and he's now living out his dreams. LaDawn Davis checks in for this week's edition of Student of the Week. Where are they now?
I'm at Florida Polytechnic University, a STEM university out in Lakeland, Florida.
Graduate of the Samuel Guy Pinder All-Age School, Colby Mullen is living out his passion, pursuing studies in mechanical engineering. His love for the sciences sparked a keen interest in the field back in high school, and he says his first class was a big step towards realizing his goal.
My first class was a subject called Intro to STEM, That started off good. Our first classes throughout the week, like that first week, they were all beginner classes. And so they just set the tone for exactly what each professor expected. And they all have like certain criteria that they expect from each of us. But they definitely wanted us to know that college would not be the same as high school.
Colby received 8 A's in the BGCSE national examinations last year and the Marjorie Davis Award for Best Overall Performance in Government Schools. This straight-A student says he welcomes all the challenges college life will bring.
It is definitely different. All the work, you have to be more accountable to yourself. Not to say high school babied you, but sometimes teachers would, if you miss an assignment, it's easier for you to make it up. Or late assignments, you can turn them in. Not as much. Well, you can. It's just that you always will get deducted. Sometimes you can get late assignments in high school and no penalty or nothing.
His brother, Chandler, is also an exceptional student studying at the same university. He says sharing his college journey with his brother is a big relief. But when asked if he plans to return home to contribute to a country he loves, Colby had this to say.
I have this mentality that you should always give back to the place you come from. So that's just a value I have for myself. I think everybody should do it, but hey, everybody has their own choice. So I plan on, I might work here for a bit because the Bahamas doesn't really have much in the line of experience when it comes to the serious things you could do with a mechanical engineering degree, right? I plan on coming back and somehow using that.
Colby remains hopeful, though, that the Bahamas will become more self-sustainable and eco-friendly. LaDon Davis with the Student of the Week, Where Are They Now?
A recent central bank surveillance exercise of international banks and trust companies' level of Russian business activities, revealing approximately $420 million in deposits and $2.5 billion in custody or trust assets with ultimate beneficial owners from or connected to Russia. Officials say at the time that the greatest proportion of Russian exposure was linked to the international sector. Attorney General and Minister of Legal Affairs, Senator the Honorable Ryan Pender, gave this update on those funds.
We received reports back on March 20th and 21st from the regulators. Very few amount of sanctioned relationships are in the Bahamas. It's a matter of less than 5. And a very small amount of liquid assets, meaning deposits or managed assets or securities, only about $7.5 million. You would have heard the Minister of State in Parliament say there was the total valuation would be 1.6 billion, but that is almost entirely made up of a private company holding that's not in the Bahamas, that is held in a trust structure in the Bahamas. So that's not liquid assets, that's not assets as you would think in the Bahamas, but it is just administered from the Bahamas.
A recent 8-day mission to the Ukraine-Poland border has compelled Eleuthera native India Hicks to strengthen her commitment to make a change. She sits on the executive board of the nonprofit disaster relief organization Global Empowerment Mission. Its goal is to help all countries in need. According to its website, the organization has $85 million in funds committed to aid in the war, delivered more than $18 million in supplies, and relocated 100,000 plus families. The latest international reports state that more than 100,000 people remain trapped in the Ukrainian city of Mariupol after rendering assistance to Hurricane Dorian. Survivors on Grand Bahama and Abaco. Hicks describes her Ukraine trip in just one word: overwhelming.
At the border, it was extraordinary. A lot of aid agencies were there. You see the refugees coming through constantly, a stream of them, and they're carrying their animals, they're carrying their suitcases, all they can possibly carry. They've had to leave everything behind. A lot of them have no identification. Their passports have been destroyed or bombed. They're being put into shelters everywhere. They've got 3 million at the moment in Poland in different shelters, churches, small schools, gymnasiums, sports centres, shopping malls, much of what we saw here in the Bahamas. The difference, I think, is that this is going to be long-term. This is an entire country as opposed to 2 islands.
Global Empowerment is utilizing the element of networking on its Ukrainian mission. They connect programs that don't have the means to distribute the resources this war-torn country needs.
What we're seeing is Poland and Slovakia have all got aid in that country, but it needs to be inside the Ukraine. A very dangerous, very difficult operation to get into the Ukraine right now. And Global Empowerment employ people like Green Berets and Special Operations who are able to drive buses of aid in and then extract. They're called extraction buses. They're bringing people out again.
Well, as we head to the break, we'd like to thank all our viewers watching us live on our social media platforms. And just in case you missed the news, be sure to head there to catch up. Stay with us. There's more after the break.
Welcome to Harry's Farm. Here located in the back of Old Bight, Cat Island. 5 acres of beautiful farmland. Let's talk a little about watermelon. This is one of our big growers in Cat Island. We have the soil for it. We produce a lot of it. This red soil is the best soil for growing. You just plant your seed and it grows without fertilizing and pesticide and other stuff. Because watermelon takes 90 days from the seed going to the ground until you have this beautiful fruit right here. This watermelon is ready for harvest. And how do we know when it's ready? There is we call a spring right at the head, the tip right here. And when this is dry, brown dry, the watermelon is full. All of those seeds inside are black and the watermelon is ready for consuming. Cat Island watermelon are sweet, like sugar. And we have different types. The Charlton Gray, the Rattler, the yellow watermelon, a cold watermelon on a day like this. Yum. Y'all ready to cut this? And so I am a farmer who believes in giving. And so I farm enough to eat, to sell, and to give away. And I believe in that, and it works. The more I give, the more blessed my farms are.
Philly cheesesteak time at Burger King Nassau. This classic sandwich isn't just a Philly cheesesteak, it's a Burger King Philly cheesesteak. Enjoy your sandwich with flame grilled beef, plant-based, or try the crispy chicken version with all the Philly fixins, including lots of melted cheese, caramelized onions, bell peppers, and mushrooms on a sesame seed hoagie bun. Visit any of Burger King Nassau's 7 locations and enjoy your Philly cheesesteak as a combo or as part of the King's Feast at Burger King Nassau, where taste is king.
Member of Parliament for North Andros and the Berry Islands, Leonardo Lightbourne, presenting students in his constituency with supplies to aid in the continued fight against COVID-19. He gave out masks, hand sanitizers, and wipes at the Stanyard Creek, Roselda Woodside, Bertram Newton, and Low Sound primary schools, along with Huntley Christie High School. The MP says although COVID is still with us, he wanted to remind the youngsters that they're not forgotten.
I want to encourage all the boys and girls who, despite the ups and downs of the pandemic, you made sure that you did your part and stayed focused. Virtual learning was a fact, new to all of us in the Bahamas and throughout the world. We had to quickly adapt to what is considered the new norm. It reminds me of the saying, when life throws you lemons, you use those lemons and make lemonade.
Well, it's time now for a check on Family Island weather with Chief Meteorologist Basil Dean. Good evening, Basil.
Good evening, Makishla. We are under mostly cloudy skies. Temperature at 79 degrees. The relative humidity also 78%. Southerly winds at 13 miles per hour. The barometric pressure 1,014.7 millibars. That's 30.04 inches, and the pressure is steady. Temperatures around the islands this evening, they are brought to you by Family Guardian Insurance Company. We're protecting you. 79 degrees in Freeport, Grand Bahama, Grand Torquay, and Marshall, Babico, the Berry Islands, 78 degrees. 82 in Alistown, Bimini, 79 in Harbor Island, Roxanne, Eleuthera, 81, 80 degrees in Black Point, Exuma, and Camp Space on Andros. Fresh Creek, Central Andros, 79 degrees, 81 in Otterstown, Cat Island, San Salvador, and Rumkey, Georgetown, 80 degrees, 82 in Ragged Island, Clownstown, Long Island, and Crooked Island, Betsy Bay, Megwana, 81, Acklands, 81, Matthewtown, Inago, 82, and the Turks and Caicos Islands at 80 degrees. And the boating forecast tonight is brought to you by Builders Mall, home of FYP, the Tile King, and the Paint Setter. In the northwestern islands tonight, southerly winds, speeds around 10 to 15 knots, the wave heights 2 to 4 feet. High tide takes place at 9:09 tonight in the central and southeastern islands. Southeasterly winds at 12 to 18 knots, wave heights 3 to 6 feet. So we will maintain those caution flags through the night for the central and southeastern Bahamas. And then tomorrow, Saturday, in the northwestern islands, the winds fall off light and variable. Flat seas tomorrow after several days of rough turf. High tide 9:26 in the morning, low tide at 3:37 in the afternoon in the central and southeastern islands Saturday. Southeast winds also reducing to 10 to 15 knots, wave heights 2 to 4 feet. So we'll discontinue the caution flags on Saturday for the central and southeastern Bahamas. And then on Sunday in the northwestern islands, the winds become southwest at 10 to 15 knots, just ahead of a weak frontal system. Tide-wise is going to be 2 to 4 feet. High tide 10:05 in the morning with a low tide at 4:13 in the afternoon. In the central Bahamas Sunday, southerly winds 10 to 15 knots, wave heights 2 to 4 feet. In the southeast Bahamas, you can expect southeast winds at 10 to 15 and the wave heights 2 to 4 feet. That's going to do it for your boating forecast. It's time now for your international temperatures, and they are brought to you by Royal Star Assurance.
One way to two way to three. The things they do, you gotta see to believe. Oh Lord, jump on this bus, it's 98 degrees. Man, this bus so broke down, ain't got no AC. Seesaw sunken in, let me off this ride. I just jump on this bus, this man want $1.25. Bus driver, why you look like that?
And that's going to do it for your international temperatures brought to you by Royal Star Assurance. But stay tuned, your extended weather forecast is still ahead.
Let me off this trap.
The COVID-19 pandemic isn't over yet. COVID-19 vaccines and boosters are now available at South Beach Clinic on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 9 a.m. to 12 noon. On Wednesday at Flamingo Gardens Clinic, 1 to 5 p.m. Elizabeth Estates Clinic, 3 to 6 p.m. and Fleming Street from 4 to 6 p.m. And at the mall at Marathon, Monday to Saturday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Visit vax.gov.bs to book your appointment. Walk-ins are welcome. This message is brought to you by the Ministry of Health and Wellness, PAHO, WHO, and USA.
Every journey starts with the first step, and mine starts here. I believed in Tokyo, the belief that I could be, we could be the best. We are drenched in Bahamian pride, no matter where we go. In 5 years, Alive built the Bahamas' best network, delivering faster speeds and stronger connections to all 700 islands and keys. Alive believed that every Bahamian deserved a world-class network and excellent customer service. I am proud to be Director of Speed and Connection.
Shawnee Miller-Weibo is total class. Look at her go. What a win.
As we continue to improve our lightning-fast, world-class network and connect with art, culture, and the world around us, never stop dreaming and never stop believing.
When you want to save money on your tile supplies, who you gonna call? The Tile King. When you tile your house and you want to look good, who you gonna call? The Tile King.
Visit the new Tile King showroom, which is internationally recognized as the finest tile showroom in the Caribbean, located in the Builders Mall on Wolf Road.
The Tile King. Who you gonna call? The Tile King.
Tiles on everything.
My name is Rawiya Hannah Raming, and I am the VP of Legal and Regulatory at Cable Bahamas Limited and Alive. I believe that a key to my success was never being afraid to continue learning and ask questions, particularly for a woman. I think any woman getting into a profession should never be afraid to shine or to show how smart she is. And they should not be afraid to climb and to learn.
It was not Rapunzel, nor was it Cinderella and her Prince Charming. Rather, it was the story of a real-life prince, William, and his wife, Catherine, the Duchess of Cambridge, visiting the beautiful Bahamaland in light of Queen Elizabeth II's Platinum Jubilee. The royal couple was recently dazzled by the cultural and literary performances of scores of students who gathered at the Sybil Strawn Primary School. Selected students got an opportunity to dialogue one-on-one with the royal couple. Students from across the islands chimed in via Zoom.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Kaden Starr, a grade 3 student.
They're on the island of Exuma. The island of Exuma. Yes.
Being able to do your studies and be at home? Has that been hard? Yeah. Have all of you had access to phones or computers or tablets where you can do work? Yeah, that's good. You don't get distracted being at home. Yeah, there's always something else to do at home.
Have you missed seeing all your friends? Yeah.
Have all of you had access to phones or computers or tablets where you can do work? Yeah, that's good.
The festivities also included an address by Education Minister Glenys Hannah Martin as the Lovely Duchess. The event concluded with the historic tree planting of the national flower, the yellow elder, and the sealing of a time capsule. It was truly an unforgettable experience. I'm Adama Williams for Ed Talk.
It's raining specials this April at Super Value and Quality Supermarkets. Libby Spaghetti and Meatballs, 15-ounce, $1.29. Rainbow Mackerel, 15-ounce, $1.69. Red Seedless Grapes, $1.99 per pound. Premium Boneless Chuck Steak or Roast, $6.99 per pound. Great American Raw Shrimp, 12-ounce, $5.99. April is a great month to save at Super Value and Quality Supermarkets.
This is ZNS Total Sports.
Welcome to sports, everybody. Bahamas Aquatics has named its 36-member team for the Carifta Swimming Championships later this month in Barbados. And starting this evening, the track and field track will begin with trials at the Thomas A. Robinson Stadium. The team expects to be named on Monday. Now, when Carifta Track and Field is staged Easter weekend in Jamaica, it will mark the first time the event has been staged since the start of the COVID-19 pandemic. And President of the North American, Central American, and Caribbean Confederation, Mike Sands, says it's been a long time coming.
Carifta Games is the longest-serving junior event in the world. It is also recognized as the top event in the world in athletics for juniors, bar none, compared even to the World Junior Championships. The 2-year hiatus obviously took its toll, and we have no idea what impact that would have had on the future development of some of our athletes, simply because, as you know, the sport is aged, and so a number of athletes would have aged out, that they've lost opportunities, so they were totally disenfranchised through no fault of their own. So the fact that we are now cautiously optimistic that in 2 weeks' time, notwithstanding the protocols that have to be in place, that we look forward to a very, very successful Carifta Games. And I can tell you that the area, our preliminary entries show that there's going to be about 400 or 500 athletes that will be registered from throughout the entire Caribbean. We're talking about the 27 countries. They're having some challenges because of restrictions in trying to get into Jamaica directly, but we're also working with them on that.
After being off for more than 2 years, the University of the Bahamas track and field team recently resumed competition, taking part in the black and gold meet at the University of Central Florida in Orlando. Head coach Ed LaRolle says the team's performance was top-notch despite the long layoff.
Competition here was high level. You had colleges like University of Kentucky, so you know, my quarter mile, who's best female quarter miles is 57, running against somebody who runs 53. It really helped her to pull it through, you know, because of the competition to get her up to a season best.
A big part of a successful athletics program is healthy athletes, and being able to maintain those athletes starts with athletic trainers who make sure work is put in both in and out of season. Head athletic trainer at UB, Sasha Johnson, says a key to the process is pre-participation physicals.
That is a medical clearance for the athlete. So if we have an athlete that may have sustained an injury, maybe prior to the season or over the summer, we're able to find out what that particular injury is, take the necessary steps to correct that injury, to treat the injury, so that they're 100% once the season begins. And then we also kind of pick out red flags. You know, there's some athletes that, you know, have issues with hypertension, that may have other medical issues that we need to take care of prior to them engaging in full sports.
Kai Jones, with Player of the Game honors again last night with the Greensboro Swarm in the NBA G League. He was 10 of 19 from the field, posting yet another double-double, 23 points and 11 rebounds in 36 minutes, but it would come in a losing effort, 122-117 to the Maine Celtics. Jones and the Swarm playing again 2 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, live on NBA TV against Raptors 9:05. Meantime, in the NBA tonight, DeAndre Ayton and the Phoenix Suns play at the Memphis Grizzlies. Buddy Hield and the Indiana Pacers also on the road in Boston against the Celtics. Spring training continuing in Major League Baseball. Jazz Chisholm hitting a grand slam in the third inning yesterday. He finished 1 for 3 with 4 runs batted in as the Miami Marlins won 7-4 over the St. Louis Cardinals. Well, one of the top-rated chess players in the world in town, ranked number 190, Johan Christensen, took the time out to play a simultaneous exhibition against 20 local players at the Old Fort Bay Club.
I've been speaking for one of the organizers here for a long period about at some point coming here, because I love traveling the world with chess and seeing new places and promote chess in places where chess is not too popular, and it has a lot of potential to grow here in Bahamas.
Let the kids see the talent and see the skill level, and it'll help to motivate them.
It's a fun experience for younger players and more experienced players to get opportunities that they played with the Grandmaster before.
That's a look at sports. Check on weather up next.
This is ZNS Total Sports.
The COVID-19 pandemic isn't over yet. COVID-19 vaccines and boosters are now available at South Beach Clinic on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 9 a.m. to 12 noon. On Wednesday at Flamingo Gardens Clinic, 1 to 5 p.m. Elizabeth Estates Clinic, 3 to 6 p.m. and Fleming Street from 4 to 6 p.m. And at the mall at Marathon, Monday to Saturday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Visit vax.gov.bs to book your appointment. Walk-ins are welcome. This message is brought to you by the Ministry of Health and Wellness, PAHO, WHO, and USA.
You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station. Time now for weather.
In our final look at weather, satellite pictures showing a weak front boundary just to the north of the Bahamas, and that will continue to drift slowly towards the southern east, bringing some clouds and possibly some showers and thunderstorms around the Grand Bahama, Abaco, and Bimini areas tonight. And we can see some showers developing further south of that tomorrow as we go into our forecast. Tonight, we're looking at mainly clear and humid. That's primarily here around the capital, but there will be some cloudiness and showers in the extreme northwest Bahamas. 72 degrees for the low temperature tonight, and tomorrow we're looking at mostly sunny and humid. High temperature about 83 degrees. Your extended weather forecast pretty much okay into Saturday, but come Sunday, as that front continues to drift towards the south, we'll see some stray showers and thunderstorms developing on Sunday, and that will carry over into Monday before things return to some sort of normalcy on Tuesday of next week. Temperature-wise, though, it's going to remain in the 80s, getting up to about 86 degrees on Wednesday for a high, and those nighttime temperatures back into the 70s, but it'll be nice and comfortable over the next couple of nights before we start to see some mid-70s by Tuesday of next week. Mikishla.
Well, thanks, Basil. That does it for the Bahamas tonight. Thank you for continuing to make ZNS your first choice for news and information. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better than ZNS. From all of us here at ZNS, thank you for watching and good night.
You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.